we were just looking at different comps in the area, but we didn't have any sophistication around changing pricing for weekdays and weekends and different bundles and high season and low season. We were kind of just guessing. So we came up with a better strategy than guessing, but it still was very manual and required us to be changing pricing a lot. I think it was a Google search at first, and then we posted in a couple groups asking if people had feedback with it. And we got the sense that it was going to be, a little bit of a learning curve, but there were other people that we admired that really liked it and used it, and that was, enough for us to get a feel for it and give it a try. It's like a convenience and an organization that we didn't have before, and I feel like without it, it's just very, very complicated and can be very difficult to manage. I also felt like we were leaving money on the table. So I don't have the exact measurables because we did start using it fairly quickly, but in general, things just became way more organized and I felt like we had a better handle. I also just don't like the feeling of losing money, even if I don't know how much it is. And I felt like that's significantly gone away. The setup at the beginning is like the most probably important part, because once you set it up properly at the beginning, it can really run pretty much without too much manual input. And in some areas, if you set it up properly at the beginning, it doesn't require much manual input at all after that. So I would say at the beginning, we were doing multiple trainings. I think we even reached out to Price Lab support, and we were doing demos just to make sure that each property was set up the right way. Each property for us has different thresholds that we will set as a limit for above or below base rate. And that's not always going to be the same for each property. So what I would say is at the beginning, we were tinkering with it a lot, and then we found good variances above or below base rate that now have kind of served as our historic benchmarks. And we've been able to use those consistently. That would probably be the biggest thing I would say, because for the most part, then after it's set up properly, you don't have to tinker with it that much. But for us, we're just tinkering with it more now because we want to really try to optimize things and make sure that if there's a recession or if properties are slowing down, that we can still be able to compete and be one of the best properties.